Well, I'm retiring from Siena. I'm not retiring from ministry, okay? Old nuns don't retire from ministry, you know, they just go on and do something else, okay? I plan to spend 1 year on a sabbatical, getting my life back into balance, maybe doing some educational things for myself, being able to see friends that I haven't been able to see because I've been pretty busy these years. And then after that, I'll be open to go wherever God calls me and to do whatever God calls me to do. And I don't know what that is right now. So your guess would be as good as mine. So just to have an open heart and an open mind to do what I'm meant to do. And God will make that clear to me somewhere along the line during that year. Well, I have many favorite moments from Siena. It's hard to capture just one. But if I had to capture just one, it would be the day that we opened the stadium. And we had a number of different communities gathered in that stadium. There were students, there were people from the outside community, there were the sisters from next door, some of them old, you know, and using their walkers. We likened it to the Olympics. So when different groups walked into the Olympic Stadium, well, different groups were walking onto the field. And two of the major donors were there. And I just remember standing there, not hardly believing what was happening. And of course, then the football team came out, and just hearing people speak about this event. And of course, I said a few words too. And there was such a joy and a sense of community that to me, it was like a piece of heaven. And I think that's what made that moment so special. I thought, this is what heaven's going to be like. Everybody coming together, gathered as a community, and joyful about it. Well, I often view my life as being called to different things, like God calling me to different things. And I got a call. I was working at Siena University in Miami, and I worked there for 23 years. And I got a call from the head of our community, Sister Donna Markham, and asked if I would be interested in applying for the presidency at Siena Heights. And to tell you the truth, I really didn't want to leave Florida, okay? But from the encouragement of some of our sisters, particularly Sister Jean O'Loughlin, she encouraged me to go and to see. And so I came and saw and was interviewed by the Siena community. And I knew that this is where God wanted me to be after that day. And so that day of interviews and meeting people on campus, and I thought it was a wonderful community of people, I said yes. So here I am, 17 years later, right? So that was one. I think growing the student body some. You know, we still have some growing to do. We lost some during COVID a little bit. But when I first came, there were 600 undergrad traditional students. And now we have 1,000, okay? Our goal is 1,200. We made 1,100, and then COVID hit, and it took away some of our students for various reasons, okay? We're hoping to recapture that, you know. But I think the students are what gives me life. You know, if I'm having a down day, all I have to do is go be around the students, and they remind me why I'm here. Because you can get caught up in a lot of different things, but when I'm with the students, it's a special time. A lot of the challenges that I faced were raising money, you know. But we've been very fortunate, too, to have some wonderful donors throughout my time here at Siena who have been very generous to us. The buildings couldn't have taken place without other people's generosity. Some of the challenges, higher education is somewhat of a traditional institution, okay? And sometimes to have to change is difficult too. And to move people into that change is sometimes difficult. And that has been challenging at times. I think that just the personal challenges of every day, different issues coming to your desk and doing those kinds of things and trying to resolve them with the help of other people. I don't always do everything myself. Those types of things keep you pretty busy sometimes, you know. And sometimes you can't make everybody happy. And that's a challenge too at times, yeah. So. Well, I think when you're involved in higher education at any institution, and particularly for me, Siena, you hope that you have an influence on people's lives. You never know. Sometimes you know, sometimes you don't know. I know I've touched some lives. I don't know how many. Some people come back and tell you, and I'll tell you a little story. At homecoming one year, we weren't doing so hot, and I went down so that when the football players were running back on the field, I could say, come on guys, you can do it, you know, don't lose all hope, you know. And one guy stopped me and said, Sister Peg, I just have to thank you for saving my life. And I thought, I have not met him personally. I don't even know what he's talking about. And he said to me that my brother's in prison, and I would have been there with him had you not started football. So starting football gave him the opportunity to come and get an education and do something productive in his life. So if I didn't change any other lives at Siena, that one was worth it. Yeah. I probably would have to say St. Catherine of Siena, because she is our patroness of this university. And she was a courageous woman. She didn't have a lot of schooling, but she was very knowledgeable and wise, cared for people who were poor and sick, but also had the courage to speak to popes about the truth of what they should be doing, and to speak up against things that were unjust, and looking out for those in need. And suppose we all did that. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world, huh? But I think that she's a person that that had a lot going for her because of the grace of God. And I hope that all of us can emulate her to some degree. So she's one of my favorites. I'd like for people to remember that I did the best I could. You know, there are times when you do your best and that's not good enough. And there are times when you do your best and that's really good enough. And I think I would just like people to know that I cared about them, that I prayed for them, that I loved this community, and that I want the next president to do way better than I ever did, so that Siena continues to grow and develop into the great institution it is, living its mission every day. Yeah, I have a dream, and I will continue to pray for Siena, even though I might not be here. I dream that Siena will move into the future as it needs to move in the future to serve the needs of students of the future. And so higher education is going to change over time. It's not going to be what it's always been. And we see that already happening, and with online education. And we were online before a lot of institutions were online. Siena's always been in the forefront a little bit with change there. And we're going to see a lot more certificates and badges as part of higher education, stackable credentials, you might call them. And as technology continues to develop, even more changes are going to come. And so we have to be ready for those. And we have to be able to adapt to those kinds of changes in the future. And, but the mission will stay the same. And if we can continue to be consistent with that mission, then the changes are easier. If we lose sight of our mission, I think then the changes get harder. What gives me purpose and what gives me life, and that's my relationship with God and with other people. Because I think God speaks to all of us through other people as well. And that's the foundation of my life. And that solid relationship with God and with other people. You can't hardly separate the two, you know, they're so bound together. So that's what gives me purpose in life. That's what makes me get up every day. And that will probably never change.